Greetings YouTube. Today we're looking at the Gerber suspension multiplier and sheath. Interesting they call it a multiplier and not a multi-tool. Number one selling multiplier. This is 12 tools, locking tools, spring-loaded pliers, all very true, and this is 8971017E. I'm not going to show you the packaging because it's just difficult to set up. It came with a little multi-language blurb about the tool. We're going to look at the sheath first. It's pretty standard. Nylon, made in China. Hook and loop, otherwise known as Velcro. Watch me get sued. Now, this has a belt loop, which can go all the way through. So in theory, you could do a horizontal carry. But that's going to go work for a dress belt. That is not a standard 2-inch belt size. And if you're carrying a multi-tool, how many of people carrying multi-tools are wearing dress belts? And same with this problem with the side. So with side, if you want to carry it in a vertical carry, I can almost get two full tinkers in there. I just don't think I'm going to get a 2-inch belt in through there. I really don't. So, yeah, a bit of a fail on the sheath. But there you go. So here's the tool itself. Spring-loaded, as it says, and it's pretty lively. I find it a little bit wide for my taste, but I do not have the largest hands. We have wire cutters, a eye-shaped pliers in the center, and fine needle nose here. And they come to a pretty good match at the tip. There you go. You can just see that. They're pretty well lined here. Nice. They're relatively thin, so you should be able to get them into tight spots. And this little feature here on the edge doesn't do anything, but I think it's aesthetically pleasing. I'll give them points for aesthetics. Overall, it fulfills the whole, this is a set of, folding pliers. And could you actually make adjustments on there if you wanted to? Maybe you could. Those are standard, looks like standard hex heads. Oh, okay. I'm going to close it up. And it closes completely and with a nice definitive snap, which I appreciate. I looked at a pair of Cobalt recently, and they were, you can squeeze them and they'd pop open again, which was not good. You want springs in your pliers. You don't want too much springs. So all of the tools are locking, and these are the locks right there, which are accessible from both sides. And the two of the blades have these thumb studs, which, believe it or not, actually work. And this is a Wharncliffe fine edge blade. We used to call those plain blades back in the day, but plain implies negative connotations, I guess, so they call them fine edge now. Flat grind with a secondary bevel. I approve. Excellent, excellent work. And it's got a nice edge out of the box. Really, I use this knife, this edge right here, to cut the sheath out, and it did a nice job. So, good job on that. And a little bit of play that way, but almost nothing side to side. And see, you're seeing is the lock is having to do duty for 4 different tools. I'll give them I'm going to cut a little slack on that one. Okay, so we're going to pull this one up, and we have a fine-toothed wood saw, which actually seems to have been backfiled, so the spine is a little bit thinner than the teeth, so that she shouldn't get any binding. But again, this is very short. I mean, 2 finger joints? Yeah, 2 finger joints. So you're not going to be doing a lot of cutting with this anyway. Twigs. I'm cutting twigs with that. And I find this easiest to use both fingers to unlock it. That's just me. And we have a set of Phillips, or a Phillips head. And it's very thin. You're only going to be able to do very, very fine. You try to use this on anything other than a really small gear type screw, I'm afraid you're going to strip the crap out of it. So yeah, I would not want to use that. And then we have this, which is a just pretty standard screwdriver head. I actually kind of like the fact that this has got a nice bead blast type finish, but this has a grind on it, which actually should give it a little tooth when it goes to grab the slot in the screw, which I actually appreciate. And we're going to come to this side, and this one actually is a little smoother than the fine edge. And we have a sheep's foot, which is slightly different than a Wharncliffe. A sheep's foot serrated, and the serrated comes out of the box pretty good, pretty decent. That would be nice for cutting cardboard and maybe cutting some heavier gauge line like that. That would, or even thin or a narrow web belting, that would work. I don't know if I've ever seen a triangular shaped thumb stud before like that. I kind of like it, I'll be honest. Okay, and on this side we have, here we go. There's I just forgot where the nail nick was. Here we have scissors, and they actually have a decent spring. So I mean, that's a hefty spring. I like that. They did a good job with that one. Obviously, they're really small. Their actual cutting length is like ½ an inch. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. And so you're going to be cutting string with this, threads on your clothing, stuff like that. You're not going to be doing any heavy cutting with this. That's not really what they were intended for. Okay, then we have a cap lifter for your drinks, and this is supposed to be a can opener. So the idea is that you put this on the edge of the can. The problem is this edge is a 1/16 of an inch wide. For this type of can opener to work, you have to have a bevel that comes to an edge. Doesn't have to be sharp, but it has to come to a crisp edge. If it doesn't, it is never, ever going to open a can. Not in a million years. You'd be better off sanding the top of the can off on a piece of concrete, which actually does work, just takes a while. Yeah, absolute fail on this. Complete and utter fail, Gerber. I'm not saying every single suspension has this issue, but yeah, complete fail. In fact, when I'm done with this, I am probably going to give it away as a gift. I may have to grind that myself. I cannot, in good conscience, hand that to somebody and expect them to actually open a can with this. So I'm probably gonna have to fix that myself before I can give this away. I bought this for sale at Walmart for $7 because this edition of suspension is a bit discontinued. They've come up with the XLT, I think it is. So because they came out with the new one, Walmart wanted to get rid of the old one, so I bought this for $7. So yeah, I plan on giving one of these as a way to gift to somebody else. Hope we never have to open a can. Because I had just planned on presenting it to him in the package. I can have plausible deniability on that one. We have a small screwdriver there, and then I'm going to use this, open this last tool here while this other one is open because it's kind of awkward if it's on its own. So we're going to close the screwdriver, and then we're going to pull out the lanyard. Now, I've never ever used a lanyard on a multi-tool or multi-pliers ever. I've never seen the attraction for it. I don't really know why it has them. But if you want one, there it is. I don't get it. So yeah, this has been the suspension, which has the tools on the outside as opposed to like Leatherman, which fails miserably in that regard. Overall, it's well made, with the exception of the can opener, which is useless. All the other tools seem to that they could do their multi-plier tasks fairly well, and as long as you're only using the Phillips head for very small screws, I think you're going to be safe on that one. I think the sheath is the right size. It's I mean, it's a good size and holds the tool well. But those belt loops, I think, are kind of useless unless you're wearing a dress belt. If you're wearing a dress belt, I don't know if you'll be wearing a multi-tool. But that's just me. So this has been the Gerber suspension. I hope that it will either help you get a better decision or steer you away from something that you may have no interest in whatsoever.